Welcome traders to our end of week technical analysis video. Jumping straight into things here from where we last left off. So where we last left off was right here. We saw price coming up to this top resistance zone of this range that was created after the new all-time high was hit of around 3005. We found a topside range of around 3000 with a midpoint that we found on our minute 15 time frame of around 2993. We then saw price have a break of structure and price break above this level. If I go ahead and go down to our minute 5 real quick and just sort of go into more detail what happened here. So what we had is we had a breakthrough this sort of midpoint. This is sort of the reversal point. We understood in our last technical analysis video that if price was to continue to consolidate between these two areas with this midpoint as a resistance, the likelihood of a bearish break would be a lot more likely than a bullish one. Whereas if price was consolidating between these areas, with the mid-range being a support instead of a resistance, the most likely outcome for gold would be a bullish break. And as you can see, we had that initial push, and we sort of last left off here. That initial push pushed price back up to test that level of resistance at around 3000. We then saw price break back down, indicating to us a break and retest pattern. So we had our break and then we had our retest. We retested on this level 2 times before price then continued on bullish to then go ahead and test this area. We tested this area multiple times. As you can see, we had a few failed breakouts before price then successfully broke structure at this level here, with price then continuing on bullish, hitting new all-time highs, with the new latest all-time high created of around 3045. And then as you can see in the future, we have another new all-time high here, with price touching the level of around 3057, and then since then price has become bearish. However, if I go to our minute 15 and just sort of zoom out a little bit, you can see that we're seeing the same sort of thing as we saw here. We have our rough range with the top resistance of around 3036 and our bottom support of around 3027. We have had a few breakouts over here at the top, so what we're going to go ahead and do is just mark in any order blocks that we can potentially see and any points of support and resistance. So obviously we're going to mark in our new all-time high, and we're just going to leave it like that for now. But the main thing that we're looking for is a breakout of either side of these range points of interest that we have here. If we continue to see these levels respected, consolidation for the rest of the day is a lot more likely. However, if for some reason we end up seeing a break through that top resistance level of around 3036 to 3037, we most likely will see a continuation, a bullish continuation to our next level, which was created from this high that was made here. However, if we go ahead and see a consolidation or continue between these two areas, what we could in turn see is if price fails to hold this level of support of around 3027, price most likely will continue bearish, heading back towards our previous range resistance. If I go ahead and drag these levels through, just so we know that they are, as we know, they are going to be levels that we want to pick back up on in the future. But yeah, as you can see, gold has been rallying. If I go ahead and go to a higher time frame for you real quick, you can see that this bullish momentum has been very, very strong. Obviously, we've had our retracements, we've had our consolidation days, we've had our consolidation weeks, but however, as you can see, the overall movement of price right now is definitely bullish. With this being said, it's actually a really, really nice point to trade in as of right now, because basically what you're just going to want to wait for is your break of either this resistance or the support, and then a continuation on down to our next point of interest. Obviously, the distance between this point of interest and this point of interest is around 200 to 250 pips. Obviously, it's a big retracement. However, it all just depends on what we can see happen on the lower time frames here. So obviously, as you can see right now, price is sort of forming this downtrend on the lower time frames, with the overall bias on, or overall trend on the higher time frames, like I just showed you. It is bullish. We're an uptrend. However, there is going to be downtrends on the lower time frames, and as you can see, we are in one. We created a higher high then we followed by higher, lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. And then obviously, as you can see, we had that initial breakout where price came to test that previous all-time high that was created at around 3,045. Price then broke down, breaking through this level of sort of mid-range resistance as we just spoke about, and price is now consolidating between these two areas here. It's literally the same sort of setup as we spoke about in this area here. It's literally the same thing, just on a bigger magnitude and a little bit more volume involved. But as you can see, we are definitely filling some orders here, whether they are bearish or bullish, that is for us to determine. And as you can see, we are consolidating again on the even lower time frames here. If I was to go ahead and mark in sort of the rough top resistance and the rough bottom support, like so, we're just sort of consolidating between this area as of right now, and just sort of waiting for a break out of one of these two ranges, with price then continuing on either bearish or bullish. So with that being said, that's pretty much going to be our end of week technical analysis. As you can see, we've seen new all-time highs created, followed by a consolidation. The same pattern has happened here. For an initial move to take place, or to determine the direction of the market, we're just waiting for these point of interest to either be broken through or respected. If we see a respect, most likely we'll see consolidation continue for the rest of the day. If we see a break, price most likely will continue in that direction that it has broken, whether it's a resistance that is broken, price continues bullish, or a support that is broke and price continues bearish. But that's going to be that for our end of week technical analysis video. I hope you have all enjoyed. Thank you for all the amazing support. I understand we have reached our goal of just over 300 subscribers now, which is absolutely amazing. Keep tuning in, keep staying engaged. We really appreciate it. Without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. So yeah, that's going to be our end of week technical analysis video. I hope you've all enjoyed, and I will catch you in the start of week technical analysis. Peace.